Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom hidden beyond mountains that shimmered with silver snow and valleys draped in emerald forests, there stood a castle unlike any other. It was called the Secret Magical Sleep Castle, for it held mysteries that no ordinary eyes could see and wonders that even the bravest of hearts could scarcely imagine. Its towers reached the clouds, and its walls glimmered with the soft glow of enchanted crystals that hummed lullabies when the wind passed through them. Legends whispered that whoever entered the castle would feel as if they were floating on clouds of dreams, where time itself slowed, and the world outside vanished into a peaceful silence. In this castle lived Princess Seraphina, known across the lands as the Sleep Beauty. She was no ordinary princess. Her hair cascaded like a river of midnight silk, her eyes sparkled like starlight caught in the calm waters of a hidden lake, and her smile could quiet even the loudest storms of anger or sorrow. Yet, despite her beauty and kindness, Princess Seraphina carried a secret sorrow in her heart. From the moment she was born, the castle's enchantment bound her to a sleep unlike any other. She could wake for a few hours only once every 100 days, and during that time, she experienced the world in fleeting moments, touching the lives of those around her and leaving them with hope and joy. But soon, the enchantment would reclaim her, and she would drift into the deep, magical slumber that protected her from unseen dangers and preserved the purity of her heart. Her parents, King Alaric and Queen Aloan, had ruled the kingdom with wisdom and courage, but they had also feared for their daughter's safety. For it was said that an ancient sorceress, known as Morvina, had cursed the royal bloodline long ago. Morvina, who had once loved the castle for its magic and beauty, had grown jealous of the royal family's happiness. She had vowed that no princess born under the castle's towers would live a normal life of joy. Thus, the magical sleep became both Seraphina's shield and her prison. Despite this, the people of the kingdom adored their sleep beauty. Her presence, even brief, inspired songs, poems, and festivals. Children would gather near the castle gates, pressing their small hands against the enchanted walls, hoping to catch a glimpse of her as she walked through the halls, her gown shimmering like liquid moonlight. The castle itself seemed alive with her magic. Roses bloomed in impossible colors, fountains danced to invisible melodies, and the air carried a fragrance of dreams so sweet that travelers from distant lands would journey for weeks just to stand at its edge. One day, as the sun poured golden light over the highest towers, a young prince named Elric arrived at the castle. He was not a prince of wealth or title, but one whose courage had been sung in the lands beyond. He had heard of the Sleep Beauty and her magical castle, and though many warned him that no mortal could enter without being trapped in its spells, he was determined to try. His heart was pure, guided by kindness and curiosity rather than greed or desire for glory. As he approached the castle, the gates opened as if recognizing his arrival. The air shimmered, and a soft voice seemed to echo from the very stones, "Only those with hearts untainted by selfishness may enter." Prince Elric stepped inside, and immediately, the world changed. The floors glowed with a warm, gentle light, walls whispered secrets of forgotten times, and every step felt like floating through clouds. He wandered for what seemed like hours, guided by instinct and an invisible thread that pulled him toward the heart of the castle. In the grand chamber, he found Princess Seraphina. She lay upon a bed of silken sheets, surrounded by softly glowing crystals. Though she slept, a gentle aura of magic radiated from her, filling the room with a calming warmth. Elric felt an immediate connection to her, a sense that he had known her forever even though they had never met. He knelt beside her and whispered words of hope and kindness, telling her of the world outside the castle and of the people who loved her from afar. Suddenly, the crystals around her began to shimmer more brightly. The air grew warmer, and a soft wind swirled through the room as if responding to his words. Elric, sensing that the magic of the castle was awakening in harmony with his heart, took a small, golden locket from around his neck. Inside was a miniature sun, a gift from his homeland, which never dimmed and never faded. He placed it gently in her hand, and as he did, Princess Seraphina stirred. Her eyes fluttered open, revealing the deep sapphire glow that had enchanted countless souls. For the first time in many years, she smiled freely, not bound by the constraints of her curse. "Who are you?" she whispered, her voice like a melody that made the crystals around them dance. "I am Elric," he replied softly, "and I have come to share the world with you, if only for a moment." The princess rose, her movements graceful and unhurried, and the castle itself seemed to recognize her awakening. Gardens bloomed instantly, fountains leapt higher, and flowers of colors unseen before swirled around them in a soft breeze. It was as if the castle celebrated her freedom, even if only temporary. For days, or perhaps hours, they could not tell, the princess and the prince explored the wonders of the castle. They walked through halls where paintings told stories of ancient kings and queens, gardens where flowers whispered secrets, and libraries where books wrote themselves as one read them. They laughed together, shared stories, and dreamed of a world where magic and kindness could exist without fear or curse. But deep within the castle, Morvina's shadow stirred. The sorceress had sensed that the princess's curse was being undone and that a mortal heart had penetrated the enchantment. Furious, she appeared in a swirl of dark mist and whispered spells that could shatter dreams and bend reality. "Foolish girl," Morvina hissed, her eyes glowing like molten silver. "No mortal shall awaken what I have bound." Princess Seraphina, though startled, stood tall. The warmth of the castle and the courage of Elric strengthened her. "You cannot harm me," she said, her voice steady and luminous. "Your magic is born of fear and envy. But love, courage, and kindness are stronger than any curse." The sorceress laughed, sending waves of cold and shadows across the chamber, but Elric held Seraphina's hand. Their hearts beat together, a rhythm of pure intent and bravery, and slowly, the shadows receded. The crystals pulsed with light, creating a barrier that Morvina could not penetrate. Enraged, she attempted one final spell, but the golden locket in Seraphina's hand absorbed her power and transformed it into light so bright that it banished Morvina from the castle forever. The kingdom celebrated this victory with joy that lasted for weeks. Princess Seraphina no longer had to sleep for hundreds of days. She could live, explore, and reign alongside her parents, and soon, alongside Prince Elric, who had become her closest companion and heart's protector. The castle, once a place of solitude and magical sleep, became a home of laughter, learning, and wonder. Children played in its gardens, scholars studied in its libraries, and travelers marveled at the magic that seemed to flow through every stone, leaf, and crystal. As years passed, Princess Seraphina and Prince Elric led the kingdom with wisdom and kindness. They never forgot the secret of the castle and the power of courage and love that had freed them. The story of the Sleep Beauty and the secret magical sleep castle spread far and wide, inspiring generations to believe in the magic of goodness, the strength of courage, and the wonder that exists in even the quietest, most hidden places of the world. The princess, who had once been bound to SL, now woke each day to a kingdom that flourished under her light. She taught her people that true magic was not only in spells or enchanted crystals but in the heart that chose love over fear, courage over despair, and kindness over hatred. And so, the secret magical sleep castle, once a silent guardian of a sleeping princess, became a beacon of hope, joy, and wonder for all who believed in the extraordinary. Even in the quietest moments, when the sun set behind the silver mountains and the stars began to twinkle in the sky, Princess Seraphina would walk through the halls of her castle, her hand resting in Elric's, and feel the gentle hum of magic that had once kept her asleep. Now, it sang a new song, a song of freedom, love, and endless dreams. And in that song, the kingdom found its heart, and the princess found her happiness, living fully ever after, with every heartbeat a melody of magic, courage, and light.